Yo, what's going on everyone? Welcome back. My name's Will and this is the With Me YouTube channel. You already know I gotta hit you with a quick sales pitch. If you get to the end of this video and you enjoyed it and you like this type of content, think about scrolling down below and hitting that subscribe button. Totally free to subscribe. Just sends you a quick little notification whenever I'm posting some new content out there, but it really pleases the whole YouTube algorithm by pushing my content out there a little bit further. If you don't want to subscribe, hitting the like button as well, always really appreciated. Now with that out of the way, let's get into today's video. Obviously by the title of this video, we're talking about my 2025 Ford Ranger Raptor. I've had the Ranger Raptor for a month now, close to 3,000 miles on it, been driving it every day. It's my new daily driver. I really do love this truck. There's a lot of things I do love about it, but there are a few things that I kind of hate about it. And that word hate, I'm using it very loosely. These are just kind of minor little annoyances and just things that I know I don't necessarily love about the Raptor. So we're going to jump into that today. This is going to be a quick little fun video. Take everything with a grain of salt. This is just my opinion, guys. This is an absolute awesome truck, and we're going to have a follow-up video on 5 things I love about the Raptor that I'll be posting after this one. So I'm going to turn you guys around, show you the truck. Let's get into today's video. Quick garage rundown if you're new here. Supercharged 2024 S650 Mustang right over here. 2024 Lexus GX 550, and the star of today's video, 2025 Ford Ranger Raptor. Like I said, I've had this thing for a month now, 3,000 miles, new daily driver. So yeah, now that you're all caught up, let's talk about the first thing that I hate about the 2025 Ranger Raptor. I do really love the whole exterior styling of the truck, but I just do not understand why Ford cheaped out and gave us these super shitty looking exhaust tips. They just kind of look like a leftover part here. I don't really understand why they went with like these cheap kind of small looking little exhaust tips. They just kind of look out of place in my opinion. Of course you guys might like it, but for me, I think they look totally out of place. I think it would have looked a lot better with at least blacked out tips or possibly like some slant cut tips, but these just really small little brushed aluminum, brushed metal, it just doesn't look right to me. It looks really out of place, and honestly, in my opinion, if you were to take a step back and just look at the whole rear end altogether, I think it just kind of makes it look a little bit cheaper. I think with the regular Ranger, you just get the single exhaust tip out of one side, so at least they went with like a dual exhaust tip for the Raptor, but again, I just think they look really cheap. 100% going to be switching those out, but I honestly think the best ones aftermarket wise right now are the Fabulous fabrication ones. But if you're in the US, you're spending almost $1,000 for some exhaust tips if you want to go with those. Aftermarket really hasn't caught up yet with the Ranger Raptor for exhaust. So yeah, we're going to be playing the waiting game here, because there's absolutely no way I'm dropping damn near $1,000 for some exhaust tips. But come on Ford, you could have done better than that, given us some better exhaust tips. At least, you know, give us some black ones anyway. But like I said, very minor thing, and that's just the first thing on my list. Shitty looking exhaust tips. So for number 2, we gotta go check out the inside of the truck, and it has to do with the whole HVAC system. So in the US, unfortunately, we don't get rear AC vents. So other trucks in different areas of the world, they get AC vents right here. Nothing for the US spec Ranger Raptors. No, ceiling vents, nothing like that. And as you can see right there, I have a car seat back here, so my daughter rides with me sometimes. I gotta drop her off for school, stuff like that, and she actually mentioned to me one time, she was like, "Oh daddy, it's really hot back here, turn up the AC." And I felt really bad because now there's no AC vent back here, and I know that's first world problems and all that, but I really do wish we would have had rear ACs, because again, in other countries you get them in the Ranger Raptor. I really don't understand why they didn't put them in here for the US spec ones. I do believe the other competitors in the mid-size truck segment do have rear vents for the AC, so it is kind of a bummer that you don't get them in the Ranger. And to kind of piggyback off of that as well, really wish we would have had ventilated seats as well in the front. We do get the seat warmers, as you can see, like right up there. You get the seat warmers, sorry, turn sideways there. Get heated steering wheel, but no ventilated seats. And I understand people will probably use the heated seats little bit more during the winter time, you know, in other parts of the US. But for me anyway, someone who lives in Florida, yeah, I'm never going to use the heated seats. I'm never going to use the heated steering wheel, but I would use the ventilated seats almost every single day, because in my Lexus, it does have ventilated seats, and like I said, I use them every single day. So I really do wish would have had them for the Ranger Raptor. And to piggyback off of that, my number 3 is just lack of certain features and options. And again, this is all going to be very first world problems here, but they're all kind of things I would have really liked to have, you know, in a brand new 2025 truck. Now I get it, this is a mid-size truck, but it is also the top tier of the mid-size truck. So if these weren't available in, you know, bottom tier of the Ranger, I would understand. But on the Raptor, I really wish, you know, if you didn't include them, you know, standard, at least giving us the option to add them. I really would have enjoyed having a sunroof. Now again, I understand you can get the F-150 with a sunroof and like the Raptor with the F-150 Raptor with a sunroof, but it would have been cool to have a sunroof inside here as well. And again, don't give it to us, you know, standard, but at least make it an option. Another thing that I really would have enjoyed was better ambient lighting. In my 2024 Ford Mustang, my S650, you can actually customize like all your ambient lighting. So there's a bunch of different colors you can pick from. I'll throw like a little screenshot up here. Different colors for ambient lighting. You can change your different like colors on your gauges and on your infotainment system, all of that. And that's in just a base model, you know, S650 Mustang, which is definitely cheaper than what this is. So you think that would just kind of carry over. Neighbors' dogs are going insane right now, sorry guys, but really wish that would have carried over as well. Ambient lighting, you know, being able to customize the infotainment system a little bit better. In my Ram TRX, now again, I understand that's a much more expensive vehicle than this. I had the performance pages. If you're not too familiar with like the performance pages for SRT and all that, on your main screen over here, you can get all different kinds of auxiliary gauges, all of that. It had like a 0 to 60 timer, it had a 1/8 mile timer, 1/4 mile timer, all of that. It had shift light settings, it had traction control settings, it had G-force meter, it had launch control, all of that types of stuff, all displayed on your center infotainment system here. I'm not 100% sure if the F-150 Raptor offers that, but again, this is a Raptor pedigree, so it would have been cool to at least include that as well, some sort of like performance page kind of thing in here. You do get to have like customized gauges up here on the dash, so I understand you do get somewhat of what I'm talking about, but it would have been cool just to have it over here, you know, like that whole boy racer kind of feeling. But again, these are all very first world problems that I'm talking about. And another thing I would have thought would be cool would be like a heads-up display. You know, in 2025, you get a lot of standard basic cars that get a heads-up display. So again, it would have been cool just to have it in the Ranger Raptor. So number 4 and number 5 are going to be my two biggest complaints. Number 4 being that the Ranger Raptor has a different wheel bolt pattern than the F-150 Raptor and the Bronco Raptor. And for some people, I can understand that's not a big deal to them, but for me anyway, it would have been pretty cool to be able to swap wheels over from like the F-150 Raptor or the Bronco Raptor or the Raptor R and bolt them up onto the Ranger Raptor. I don't know if you guys have seen the new Raptor R style beadlock capable wheels, but they look freaking sick. And when I saw them, I really wanted to throw a set onto my Ranger Raptor, but then I realized the bolt pattern is a completely different bolt pattern than the Ranger Raptor. F-150 Raptor uses 6x135, that's F-150 Bronco Raptor, and Ranger Raptor uses 6x139.7. So yeah, I'm not going to be able to swap over, you know, the beadlock wheels from like an F-150 or the Bronco Raptor, so that is kind of a bummer. Fitting 37s on the Ranger Raptor, unless you're going with portals, it's just not gonna happen. It just would have been cool to be able to run the, you know, beadlock capable wheels from the F-150 or the Bronco Raptor, and unfortunately my dreams were kind of crushed from getting the 37 package beadlock capable wheels from the Raptor R. Number 5 is a piggyback off of that, and it is pretty difficult and a pain in the ass to fit a true 35-inch tire on the Ranger Raptor. Now, I understand not everyone is going to want to run a 35-inch tire, but for me, I definitely want to run a 35-inch tire. I think a 35 just looks better, and for off-road use, yeah, 33 will probably do the trick, but a 35, you know, why not? I think it looks better. It'll probably be better in a lot of off-road situations, as it will add a little bit of ground clearance for you guys. So yeah, I just wish that Ford would have made it a little bit easier for its customers to be able to fit a 35 on there. I'm sure they knew that people were going to want to cram a 35 on there, and they just unfortunately made it a little bit difficult to get them on there. And you know, I understand that they have to put like the crash bars and all of that on there like that. A lot of people are saying that when they do go to fit a 35 on there, they're having to remove the crash bars. And I just have to say, you know, for what it's worth, with the Broncos anyway, if you have a non-Sasquatch Bronco, you obviously don't have the 35s, right? And you have the crash bars, you know, installed on your Bronco. But if you were to go with a Sasquatch package Bronco, you get 35s, beadlock capable wheels, and those crash bars are removed. So I don't think it's really all that big of a deal to remove those crash bars, because, you know, Ford has done it for you with the Broncos. So I really think they 100% could have done it with the Ranger Raptor. And just like how the F-150 Raptor has a 37 package, I feel like Ford could have offered a 35 package for the Ranger Raptor, you know, given us the option to run 35s and, you know, removed the crash bars from the factory. That's just my 2 cents. I know a lot of people might not agree with that, but I just think it would have been a hell of a lot easier just being able to buy that 35-inch package. The crash bars already removed. We got some, you know, pretty sweet 35s on there already, and probably would have came with the beadlock capable wheels as well. So I know for me, I would have 100% paid for that option, but you know, it is what it is. That's just my 2 cents on the matter. Really wish it would have been just a little bit easier to fit 35s on the Ranger Raptor. All right, everyone, so those are the 5 things I hate about the Ranger Raptor. And like I said at the beginning of this video, they're not really that big of a deal. At the end of the day, I really do love the Ranger Raptor. I think it's a great truck. For the money, I think you're getting a hell of a lot when you purchase a Ranger Raptor. There's not many options, in my opinion, for $57,000 that can compete with the Ranger Raptor, especially in the mid-size truck market. So this was just my 2 cents, guys. Take it with a grain of salt. Just enjoy the video. Don't get all too butthurt about it. But yeah, if you guys have any other complaints or things that you don't like about the Ranger Raptor, I'd love to hear it. Go down below, comment in the comment section. I really try my best to reply to everyone. So yeah, jump down there. Let's chat about the Ranger Raptor. But as always, guys, really enjoyed you hanging out and chilling with me on this video. Like, comment, subscribe, all those things, always really appreciated. My name's Will. This is the Wimya YouTube channel. And don't forget, go check out this video right here. This is the 5 things I love about the Ranger Raptor. So it's not all hate, guys. My name's Will, and I'll see you all in the next one. Later, everybody.